So I got a phone call from a colleague of mine in Austin, and he said, I have a patient I'd like you to see. And I said, sure, happy to. It happens all the time. And he said, it's Coach Akers. And I said, the Coach Akers? And he said, yes, indeed.
The brilliant strategy and dazzling execution of Saturday triumphs start here, under the watchful eye of head coach Fred Akers.
Let's don't wait till Friday to decide that we've got a football game on our hands.
You can't not be afraid when they tell you that you've got cancer. This I knew, but not knowing what's going to take place inside me, I didn't have much to go on there. My surgeon, young man, I'd known him ever since he was just a little baby, and he was telling me when he found out that I might have prostate cancer. He got in touch with me. And he said, I'll tell you who you got to see. You got to see Dr. Ian Thompson.
He had a tumor of the prostate that most likely needed to be treated. And he and his wife and I sat down and talked at great length about that, and ultimately they decided on having an operation.
We never really, didn't want to run from it, and we didn't want to cry about it. We wanted to go ahead and face it and go on with life.
We're very good about not doing the, oh no, isn't it awful? We're so sad, so sorry. It's more of a rallying that we're going to actually beat this thing. And so failure wasn't an option, so nobody was thinking of failure, ever.
We have the disease, we're going to get rid of it, we're going on. We have a lot more to do.
The night before, as you realize that you're getting ready to operate on a living legend, someone who every single human being in the state of Texas and beyond knows, and knows of his contributions and the people that he mentored and his and his family's wonderful outlook on life and how much they've given back to the state of Texas. You don't sleep well the night before.
That man is a terrific human being, first of all. It's like a quarterback in a game. Those good ones, those really good ones, those great ones, he was so ready to get me started. Put me in the game. That's all you got to do, Coach. Put me in the game. And it turned out exactly like he said it was going to.
We see folks like Coach Akers on a daily basis, and you have the privilege of being able to take care of them and get them through if you will, a speed bump on the road of life and get them back to going full steam. But the challenge to the whole story is that the cancer came back. But not in Coach. It came back in his son, Danny. And so that became the next challenge.
I, like my dad, had gotten the feedback that I didn't anticipate getting when I was called in based on some tests that I had run and discovered that I had had renal cell carcinoma. I thought he was kidding. First thing that goes through my mind, what went through my mind? I'm too young. I'm too healthy. I've got too much to do.
Anytime your children are affected by cancer, you know that it affects the family as a whole. It's just not right. And Coach was there with Danny every single time, as was the rest of the family. And then to have a very challenging diagnosis that required him to leave Austin to come to San Antonio. So it was a little bit more of a challenging circumstance in this case. It really was best managed with a team approach. Having those unique talents and blending all those talents together leads to the very best outcomes.
He had a kidney tumor that involved the vena cava, which is a large vein that runs underneath the liver.
Dr. Thompson has the habit of getting very challenging cases given his expertise, and once the tumor extends into the veins, then Dr. Thompson decided he needed to involve the help of other surgeons who deal with the problem of the veins and the veins behind the liver as well.
So we're looking for evidence of how we're going to win, not how we're going to lose. And that's what great teams do.
Great teams have tremendous trust among the team. And that trust was very evident in San Antonio.
People were not going down the path of we could potentially lose. It was all very hopeful, optimistic, and assured that we were getting ready to win this game.
And so in preparation for this, you assembled the entire team, you got the very best folks there, and it went amazingly well. Doctors Helf and Sarkisian are truly, they work miracles. They are two of the most talented surgeons I've ever worked with. And so smiles, tears, and Danny's fine. Danny's fine.
Dr. Thompson had called me to say he had performed surgery on a young man with a very large cancer in the kidney, and that Dr. Thompson felt that he might be a candidate to participate in this study. This drug called everolimus has been shown to improve the condition of patients with advanced stages of cancer. So this trial was asking a question: if it works when there is a lot of cancer, would it not work if there was microscopic amounts of cancer somewhere lurking in the background, ready to come back?
Clinical trial, and the reason I did it, I wanted to give back. I also wanted to live as long as I could live. And because of the credibility that Dr. Thompson has with me and my family, and when he tells me, Danny, if you can get in that clinical, I want you to do it, I'm in.
We're all grateful for everything that people did for us.
They've done a great job of getting our family choosing life.
And we're going to go on and do some really good with it.
And one of the things that came out of this experience is I really started to love, even at a more intense level. The more I love, the more I get it back. And I think that's one of the reasons Dr. Thompson and all those at TRC, I think that's why y'all do what you do. It's got to be a passion that y'all love doing what y'all do, because you feel it when you're there.
You're afraid because you hear cancer, but we've learned and we've experienced that it doesn't have to be the end.
And we call on it every ball game, because I'll tell you now, you have to play for something other than yourself at times when your back is to the wall. And more times than not, those of us that have the rich traditions are the ones that succeed in those times.